As of a little bit ago, a federal appeals court in California just ruled that California's ban on open carry, is unconstitutional.
Right there. Because literally after I did a video explaining why people who oppose open carry don't actually care about being safe, they care about feeling safe, this woman hops on Instagram and proves my entire argument in real time. Let's keep going.
The two that said yes, it was unconstitutional are Trump appointees.
And there it is. Because apparently the Constitution only counts depending on who nominated the judge. Like the Second Amendment is supposed to be enforced by vibes and party affiliation instead of, I don't know, the law. But notice something already happening. She hasn't talked about crime. She hasn't talked about data. She hasn't talked about outcomes. She's laying political groundwork. Let's keep going.
He said that open carry was part of this nation's history and tradition.
Correct. Which is actually what the Supreme Court told the lower courts to look at. History, tradition, actual constitutional analysis, not feelings. And now here comes the real argument.
I don't want to be out at the bar or at the grocery store or whatever and be looking at somebody's gun. That does feel very much like it's creating an unsafe environment.
And there it is. Feel. Not is unsafe, not makes anyone unsafe, not increase violence. It feels unsafe. And that one word exposes the entire gun control argument. Because, ma'am, you are surrounded by guns right now, all day, every day. You are sitting next to people carrying firearms and you don't even know it. The only difference now is that you can see it, and seeing it makes you uncomfortable, which means this has nothing to do with safety. It has everything to do with your fee-fees.
But Van Dyke was like, well, other people do it, as in 30 other states. So he's like, it'll be fine.
Yes, that's how reality works. 30 states have open carry. They are not collapsing into chaos. There are no roaming bands of open carry maniacs terrorizing grocery stores, which should already tell you something. But let's see where she goes next.
The lone dissenter, a judge named N. Randy Smith, said that California was already upholding the right to bear arms through their concealed carry permits.
Ah, this argument. The you should be grateful for what you're allowed to have argument. Let's keep listening.
A state may not prohibit the public carriage of firearms by eliminating both open and concealed carry, but a state can lawfully eliminate one manner of carry to protect and ensure the safety of its citizens.
This is where the wheels come off. Because if a state can ban one method of carry as long as another exists, then what stops them from saying, you can't carry on your body, you can only carry in a bag, the magazine can't be loaded, ammo must be separate? Congratulations, you have now made carry technically legal, but functionally useless. That's not regulations, that's disarmament through bureaucracy. And the fact that a judge made that argument is insane. That's not sophisticated legal reasoning, that's the argument of a 12-year-old.
Is America great again? Because it certainly doesn't feel like it.
And there it is. Feel. Everything is framed around how she feels, which proves the point I made in the last video. These people do not prioritize being safe, they prioritize feeling safe, and those two things are not the same. If you are truly afraid of guns, you should logically be more afraid of concealed carry than open carry, because concealed carry means you don't see it, you don't know who has it, you don't know when it's coming. Criminals conceal guns for a reason. Someone openly carrying a firearm is almost never the person you need to worry about. But again, logic isn't the fuel source here. Emotion is. This video didn't argue against open carry. It accidentally exposed the real motivation behind gun control: fear, discomfort, and a desire to outsource responsibility. And this is exactly why I created the Keep America line that you see on my hat right now, because apparently a lot of states think the Constitution is optional. They treat the Second Amendment like it only applies where it's politically convenient. Keep America Tactical, as you can see here, is about pushing back on that, state by state. Each design features your state with an AR-15 front and center, not a handgun, not something symbolic, the effective stuff, the stuff that you actually want to ban. And keeping your state tactical means no assault weapons ban, no magazine limits, no universal background checks, no backdoor disarmament. Because when you keep your state tactical, you help keep America tactical. And that's why I put it on hoodies, that's why I put it on hats and drinkware. So I'm gonna put a link in the description section of this video so you can check out your state-specific Keep America Tactical merchandise. Here's the dangerous part of her argument that people miss. Once you allow the state to decide how you're allowed to carry, you've already surrendered the right, because rights don't work on a permission ladder, they work on principle. And the moment you accept, well, at least they let me do this way, you've already lost. The logic also ignores real people. What about the disabled? What about the people who physically can't carry concealed? What about women whose clothing doesn't allow traditional concealment? Once you start banning methods, you start discriminating against people, whether you admit it or not. And they know this. That's why they do it. This woman doesn't want responsibility, and that's her right. But she wants the government to take responsibility for her safety so she can feel protected, even though she knows deep down that government won't be there when it matters. Being safe requires action. Feeling safe requires denial, and that's the difference. This wasn't an argument against open carry. It was an argument for why courts are finally saying no. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.